spectacular.
Yeah, this should be pretty interesting now. You know, I think everyone in the game probably learned a little something here. I know we sure did. So we'll see if that ends up coming into the strategy, into play here. So far, so good, right? Both games been completely different, flipped on side upside our heads here. Essentially, as we had a game that was just dominated by terrain, and that last one was definitely by loadout, like by far. So let's see what Game 3 has in store for us.
See exactly how things will break down. I mean, I'm gonna predict vehicles, shots, and people running around with torches. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, it's a pretty fair take. You know, I think you just forgot tanks, cow catchers, and chonker tires. Essentially, I think that's about all we need here.
What's your preferred climate in terms of living? Are you a snowman? You mentioned Egypt. Are you a desert man, or are you just normal grass, sunny type weather?
I like 4 seasons. I'll be honest. Yeah, I need them all. I need them all. If I only have one, that's boring. I need all 4 of them.
Nice. Okay, I like that.
I want it to rain, some days, and then the next day I want it to just be hot and humid. Who cares? Shout out to Texas.
Shout out to Texas.
That's literally what we get.
I was about to say. Wasn't it like you guys had 2 inches of snow and shut down the entire city or something? Like, what's that about, man? What's going on down there?
Yeah, I'm kind of new here. I don't really claim this place.
Okay. So the big flip up, nice.
Yeah. We're switching it out, dude. No, seriously, the infrastructure here is it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
It's all good though.
It's I don't know the logistics behind it, but something along the lines of we're running on like a very weak grid, so
It's a little bit of this, a whole lot of that.
Bad gust to win, you lose electricity. Basically, it's pretty rough.
Dang. We'll see what happens though.
How do I get hired? I don't know. Like, hey, you see this guy's infrastructure? You'll be all right.
Point flips are the best way to rock things, right? That's where Fortnite tournament started. If I'm not mistaken.
It's true.
Yeah. We had the gun coin flip. All good. Thoughts on AV and his journey so far as a player.
I like AV. I like AV a lot. I do feel like he works hard, and he's one of those maybe not genetics carrying him. It's hard work. But that's kind of what I appreciate about his journey. Like, if you just look at how much time he puts in, right? He's able to compete with the professional players and continue to be again someone who's respected, right? And so, in my opinion, if you can make a finals setting and continue to make finals, I mean, you're clearly someone to be respected, right?
That's 100% factual. I share the sentiments. And then tossing the vehicle in reverse. Thoughts on ice cream as a dessert? And what's the favorite flavor?
Wait, before we get there, what are your thoughts on genetics though? This is a hot Fortnite.
Ooh, okay, that's actually nice. Genetics in gaming I think are huge, but I feel like
you believe?
I definitely believe 100%, 1 million%. But I'm also genetically gifted, so I might have a bias. You know what I mean?
True. I was gonna say genetics and casting exist as well.
It's like there's always this relationship between genetics and talent. I feel like having better genetics but not putting in like the hard work part. I meant hard work, not talent. What am I saying? Genetics and talent, same thing. If you have like a lot of hard work and a baseline genetics, I think you could beat someone who has a lot of genetics but doesn't put in the hard work, so to speak.
Yeah.
We've seen the best players, right, just fall off a bit because they get a bit too cocky. They don't put enough of the work anymore, and their genetics put them in a certain spot. Like, they always get overtaken. They'll be there, but they won't last.
I think like a really good example of that is honestly Benji Fishy, as someone who's like kind of been on the pedestal, as someone who clearly top tier, and he himself has seen when he's kind of taken time off or kind of slacked off, not necessarily getting the results he's wanted, but then a season after that, doubles down, grinds, and all of a sudden he's back like winning. You know what I mean? So like, it's definitely one of those things, and like you said, that kind of plays all into it, right? If you're naturally gifted, I mean, you're gonna excel just faster, like way better than your average player. I think another cool story to kind of throw a throwback name in the mix, my boy Aiden. Did you know Aiden was basically like near competitive level as a kid? Is that crazy?
Really?
Like a
Yeah.
kid. Obviously on other
That's actually
titles,
wild.
right? Long before Fortnite, but I mean, being able to win wagers and things like that, like as a child, basically, and it's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I mean, that is something that I think I've seen in very, very few people. I think Crims on the NAE server, very similar type thing, winning like tournaments at the ages of like 8 years old, 10 years old is just like mind-boggling. Imagine being like the 30-year-old there getting beat by like a literal child.
Right.
That would be like, yeah, I'm just changing my entire life. Like, I'm not playing games anymore.
What else is also really crazy? I've been getting into like the MMO scene, right? Like, obviously a different type of game, but still competitive in nature. The ranking system. There's this professional player at like around 11 years old, basically multi-championship rank, like multi-top tier rank. There's nothing we can really relate to in like Fortnite terminology because like champions is a very wide margin, if you will. But if we're talking like FNCS finalists, like top 5, you know what I'm saying? Like hard to get there. 0.0001% type vibe.
Yeah.
People like that exist out there, man, since they were kids, and I think it's cool because a lot of them have grown to be young adults now, and this whole like live streaming culture, right, is kind of put a platform and a spotlight on stories like this.
I think that's the coolest thing about it, right? Because back in the past, there were people who existed like this, who were very talented at different things. I mean, before the ages of esports, I think chess was one of the biggest things that kids were very good at, but they always had to go to such a traditional route. They always had to be a part of the tournaments. They could never do their own thing with it, right? Now you can have the talent, you can experience the official route, and then also make it your own with all these platforms. It's just so nice to be alive right now.
I'll be honest, I was so good at getting my parents mad. Like, that was like my... my genetics? Oh, top tier genetics in that compartment right there.
Yeah. I could see the same thing. Were you, what is it, the oldest child?
I'm the oldest child.
Yeah,
No doubt.
same. So it's, I know exactly what you're talking about. We were the experimental children. It's always a fun time. Yeah.
Little brother's got it easy, basically.
The things they get away with saying, man, and then we're just like, what the heck is this? This should
Right.
not be allowed. Actually, wow. We'll rock in and check with the game state real quick. I'm gonna compare it to the last games. In the last games, we had tanks on hills shooting cars. In this game, there is Elite Death with Coney Owner shooting a car on a hill. We had people running and swimming. That is also happening for the moment. And a lot of people in Storm. You see on the left there, SJ and Pilkey. They won 2 second places back-to-back yesterday, half the games via heal-off. And it looks like they're trying to do it again. Not exactly sure how it'll break down, but they're in position again, Monster, to make this an easy placement victory.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we saw what happens when you just kind of take your time. You really want to let the server do the hard work for you. And the better your route, the more heals that you can kind of sustain out there. I mean, it's going to look good for you. And what we're seeing right now take place is them do just that. The fact that they're at the command cavern means they're going to hit those, that cannon into the launch pad. They're not going to have a single issue making this big rotate. And that'll continue to carry on through as they go blimp to blimp. So, it's very easy to cut across the map right now. You have that option, but then of course you have the vehicle option, right? This is going to be the more prime choice, if you will. But if you're playing the strat where you're sitting in the zone and whatnot, you're going to be just fine.
Absolutely. If those runs were even just a little bit shorter, those heal-offs would be so much more so powerful as well. They do last a long time though, so a lot of the times what these guys are doing is just guaranteeing second place overall. Now we see Macwood and Threats also rocking in. No tank this time. They're going to be escorting one of the battle buses with an extra car in the back.
See how this is going to play out right now. Continue to just cruise along here, Crackbeat and Macwood. And this is like, I was going to say a high-speed chase, but it's very much not that. It's just like, yeah, we see you guys. And they're trailing behind them, though, ever so slowly here as the zone is starting to reveal itself. They're going to have to continue to trek north. Players up on the mountain here, looking on in. Do you shoot? Looks like they want to. It's Pot Tech. See the fight back. Doesn't connect.
So close, so close. One thing I also just realized, this kind of just became Fortnite Gundam, no? Like
That.
it's a bunch of players in vehicles, and then sometimes they gotta hop out and do things themselves. They're super weak, but it's essentially Fortnite Gundam.
I can get down with that. I can get down with
Yeah.
that. Now, if only the tank could get up and have legs. Transformative vehicles. I don't know.
Yeah. That'd be crazy. But every player can
Actually, though, in Fortnite, I could see that happening. just think about it, right? Like this vehicle, right? And then just a button presses and boom, you're in like mech stance. Like
that'd be insane.
What just happened?
And people apparently like enjoy watching it too, right? I mean, this is just cars rolling around with people shooting out of the passenger side door. Imagine, the car gets into mech mode, and then you have weapons you can actually use. I mean, hey, if the patch drops, you already know where it started, idea-wise. Just the royalties, you know what I'm saying? Hit us up, hit us up.
Fine print at the bottom, please. I'll take that in ETH. No.
Oh, man. Always keeping it smart. Okay, rolling right in.
Exposing them.
No chance. Did not hop inside the vehicle off the res. I think he did. Yeah, he's inside.
He got...
No, not inside. His teammate got left behind. They've traded teammates. What is this?
That was sketch right there. Nut212 now have to double back for the reboot car here, play it safe, that the vehicle is a little too lit for his liking. It was Cardi Fishy who hopped in that car right there, added the extra pressure, but this is a smart play by them. They now no longer have a vehicle. You want to play somewhat center, right? Get a good spot in the map here. I like this position they've managed to find themselves in, but keep in mind, these vehicles are very, very dangerous to be on this big part of the land with, if you ask me. So maybe getting across that little island is probably a better idea, but we'll see.
We have Kelly Nostradamus in the back as well. She's kind of predicted the mountain zone that was happening, asked for a water one, and we might get that too in just 10 seconds. Look at all these shields available on the ground for players just left behind in slew for torches and many other things. We'll now know in 3 as we watch Joe and Crackley take down 2 people where we're gonna go. And yep, there's one spot you can be at. That is islands surrounded by the ocean. This is gonna be tough for all these tanks and vehicles that might be on low HP.
I'll be honest, I've cast a lot of Fortnite in my time, but this chapter haven't had too many water end games like this. This is very interesting, I think, for given the state of the chapter and the 0 build setting. So this is going to be tough, especially since a lot of these guys want to have vehicles. The way those tanks are going to work, I mean, I know the water's pretty shallow, you can get kind of far, but if I'm not mistaken, they move a little too slow to make it far. So if the water gets really deep, it might just be wraps.
It'd be no man's land for a lot of these players. Speaking of zones and like the experience you've had, how has the NA been in general? What zones do you guys usually end up seeing? It's actually a good question. Just realized we're completely on different regions. We can compare notes.
West and south, honestly. A lot of Chonker Speedway, a lot of I'd say like south of Command Cavern, not necessarily towards the lakefront kind of area, the Camp Cuddle, but more so like around that northwest-ish of like Tilted. Lot of end games around there. What's up with EU? What's the terrain looking like?
We like rocky reels a lot, and if it's not rocky, then it's cavern or a lumberyard. Literally
the same thing. It's almost like it's the same game. I don't know.
It's crazy. But with RNG, you'd expect at least one sanctuary zone. I think we've had one game where it was just like this in the water.
Of course not.
And it was crazy, but man.
Of course not. All the new stuff is in Command Cavern, so
True.
Game has to end there.
Marketing effect.
The marketing effect. Kinch Analytics, did you see the post he made about the zones? He actually averaged out all of the end games. And
oh, really? I've seen like an earlier version of it, like way at the start of the chapter. But what's the update say?
He did a more updated version, like the basically the likelihood of where these zones are going is like 60% or something. This west, same area, like Command Cavern-ish, like around those general areas were definitely the best ones. And then a really cool piece of that was he showed what point in the map would have a 100% zone pool.
Oh wow!
Center. Yeah, dead center is a 100% zone pool no matter what. It's really cool.
Okay, so now understand why every team is fighting for Tilted. Makes a lot more sense.
It's
the car doing?
Best spot.
Wait, hold up. Did that guy just push the car straight underwater and then actually make it to land?
Dude, he sunk. And we managed to pull it out.
All right. Nice. I
forgot. There's actually a full-on wind tunnel right here.
Okay, no, it is a wind tunnel. Okay, I was wondering how people are all the way up in the sky. I thought it was taken out like in one of the seasons, but still here. Toby's actually flying too. Everyone's focused on the vehicle fights down below. This is insane. 75% water, 25% land. This is gonna be crazy.
I mean, we knew it was going to be pretty rough. It's only gotten tougher for the players now. Only a few players actually claiming a piece of this land right here. This is probably going to be the best spot to be in, this little bush. Rhythm on the other side, just trying to stay alive right now. It's a two-man operation up against Rogue Shark and Knight. It's not looking too good for Knight though. He's gonna have to get his full heals on and then hit the young rotate right now. They're one of the only players on that far western side here. I'm curious though, like can they get the tank across, right? Like
that's what I'm wondering too. This is gonna be so scary for a bunch of these tank players. One of those tank bullets, by the way, demolishes a sedan. You just saw it happen to Citizen Shades. That's gonna make you basically use up half of your just remote resource, what is it called? A repair torch. I keep calling it a remote torch, not sure what. It's gonna be so tough to walk around with it. Flu Rhythm is stopping 2 different tanks from moving across by himself. Someone give this guy a medal.
Yeah, I don't know why he's so hostile against the tanks, but a little over focused there. Knight just creeps on up, snatches the loot for the road here, and now it's time to get on out of here. Now again, they do have this vehicle. Let's see how this ends up playing out here. The full cap off, wise choice from Knight here. This is the question we've all been waiting for. Is the water too shallow or too deep? Or is it shallow enough to take the tank across with that slow moving speed? Here on the island, it doesn't look like anything other than trucks have made it across so far in regular vehicles.
What?
Here's his lucky he was inside the hood of the car. I don't know.
Sis Lucky is an action hero. What is this?
Oh no. Oh, I like that. Yeah, use that heavy sniper.
Oh my goodness, and they're saving the sedan as well. Says repair torching it. K-Burbs now pushed back. Shades there for the aggressive action, and everyone's still not in storm.
This is huge. These elims right here are very, very important, guys. This is where things really start to rack up. You saw right there in the distance, Jamper on the roof, spotted out there. Sizlucky trying to save the vehicle. This might be a bad decision, though, as if it explodes, it does set this entire floor on fire. So have to be careful. Out comes the repair torch to try to keep it up. Jamper and company, though, restricted now, forced to move out.
Oh,
Goes for the heavy snipe no scope. I think he hit something there. Nut has no HP. That was actually kind of wild.
I just realized too, Nut's been a solo this entire time. Teammate down, vehicle-less, still surviving. N-Pen now taken out of his as well. Not sure if this is his teammate. Yeah, it is. D-Roller's right there with the tank. It's halfway submerged. Sizz might get saved by Shades as he gets booped in. No, it's too far. Chug splashes to keep him alive. He has to use a few on his own as well. He's gonna get taken down. Selfless play. I appreciate it, but it's not gonna let you last.
What a teammate. Slashes him before saving himself there. I love the shockwave play. I wish that would have worked. That would have been crazy if we could have bounced him back up, but either way, game's starting to really close out now. There's like no land in this thing, just the beachfront here.
This is how you get rid of the vehicles. There's not a single vehicle left.
Yeah, look, it couldn't make it, by the way. Look.
Oh my god. Now it's Shantax, it's not who as a solo has made it this far up against Dukes and Jamper. He is going to be beamed down. And I see 3 teams. You know what that means? SJ and Plinky are somewhere in the storm, rocking that heal game. They're clinching second place. They're dodging all the water, all this chaos, and getting free placement.
Yeah, I don't know how they're up right now because we haven't seen them on camera, but they've been alive for a very long time. We're now approaching the 6th zone here, and all things considering, we've seen players make it to 9th zone somehow, some way in the past. So Pilkey manages to pull off a 6th zone. By no surprise, good second place for him, big points there, and just like that, that concludes game number 3.
That was a very more somber game number 3, a nice vacation, a tropical destination instead of all the automobile chaos we've seen so far. I rated though, it was a nice breath of fresh air before that final one comes right back around.
I like it.
I will see exactly what is going to be broken down right before that actually happens. I mean, so far, Monster, I feel like these games have just been so much fun to watch.